making its way through all these neighborhoods, all the way down, even reaching to the highway. I mean, look at the destruction just right here. This is just one of the many cars, keeping a close eye on it, making sure that this doesn't spread any further and making sure that nobody's hurt. And as I mentioned, Highway 101 is closed and will remain closed until further notice. Now, this is the hillside where the fire was coming down earlier today. There were fire crews dropping retardant throughout the hillside. You can still see throughout the day it kept moving, clogging up all the drains, going down into the hotel where evacuations had to take place. Preventing the rest of this tree from falling completely into the house is this branch. You can see the water is just a few feet from Ian's house, which is over here. And as you can see, he has already prepped for that. He has sandbags. I'm actually gonna have him show you a little bit of the ash on his windshield of the car. This ash has just been falling in the past hour. Cars are going through, and the people who actually go from Morro Bay to Atascadero are really excited about being open again. Helicopters still making rounds, as I mentioned, dropping water, and they are really trying to contain, and you can see a lot of the smoke up on the hillside. Earlier today, there were high tides and a few cars got stuck, forcing park rangers to close the creek crossing for a few hours. The man described that experience as the most terrifying thing he's ever lived, and with reason. I mean, you can see here just behind me, that house, how high this mudslide just swept through. The anticipated storm was a powerful one that created mudslides and debris flows, leaving nothing but destruction in its path.
We had 4 feet of mud raging through counter high through my house.
It was just like in the middle of a river. You just see water just gushing down the hills, water gushing down behind you. You didn't have nowhere to go. You were literally just stuck.
People climbed up on their roofs, swam in puddles of mud, trying to get themselves to higher ground. Others attempted not only to get themselves out, but help others in any way they could, digging through debris.
We dug down, we found a little baby. I don't know where it came from. But we got it out, got the mud out of its mouth. I'm hoping it's okay. They took her right to the hospital. But it was just a baby 4 feet down in the mud.
Homes were buried in mud. Others destroyed and pushed downstream, tangled up in trees. Cars were also washed away and power lines knocked over, leaving hundreds of people looking for escape.
You just can't imagine how powerful that mud was, how the rocks coming through. There's 2 trees in our house. Our rooms are gone. Everything's gone, just wiped out.
Up to 50 officers and deputies were out trying to deter people from stealing cars. But while out and about, they stopped many people for other violations and even went on a high-speed pursuit, arresting a motorcycle rider at gunpoint. Officers were busy Wednesday as an attempted traffic stop led to a car chase through Santa Maria onto Highway 101, topping out well over 100 miles per hour and ending on the outskirts of town near Fox and Canyon Road.
Drop it now! Turn it off! Turn it off! Get off it! Get off it! Get off it! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Don't touch that! Get on the ground!
Officers tried to pull over a motorcycle driver for not having a license plate. Turns out the bike wasn't even registered. This truck wasn't either. And while the main focus during Wednesday's operation was to go undercover to catch car thieves, officers found themselves making traffic stops for many other violations.
We've come across people who have warrants and are driving without license, and all kinds of every other crime that you could possibly think of.
The multi-agency operation had 3 air support units, 3 canine units, and up to 55 personnel from Santa Maria PD, the Santa Barbara County Sheriff, and Guadalupe PD.
We've been seeing an uptick in stolen vehicles.
These cars with multiple cameras were used to help track down stolen cars.
So the way the system is set up with the cameras, it will read the license plate of the car that's on the camera.
This undercover officer explains how bait cars are used to draw out thieves.
The cars that we use are vehicles that look just like any other car that's out here on the roadway. Inside these cars there is audio equipment, cameras, to be able to record them while they're taking the vehicle. That way we can get successful prosecution later on.
About 4 arrests were made within the first hour. The most of them were warrants out for their arrest. In the studio, Fabiola Ramirez, KSBY News. Police say 37-year-old Matthew Rice broke into his estranged wife's house in Fontana Tuesday night. They say he confronted her and her friend Robert Raposa with a gun but didn't fire any shots.
He ended up just started beating her with the gun, and then I came out of the bathroom and confronted him, and then he ran downstairs. It happened so fast, it was just crazy.
According to the Fontana Police Department, Rice got away that night, but the next afternoon, he attempted to set his estranged wife's house on fire and then stole her car. Investigators say Rice also attempted to set fire to Raposa's house, as well as his mother-in-law's home in Rancho Cucamonga.
Basically going around targeting family and friends of the estranged wife.
Rice, who currently lives in Santa Barbara, was believed to be spotted near his boat. This morning, the Fontana Police Department conducted a search of the boat here at the Santa Barbara harbor. Rice is a well-known crab fisherman, and those who knew him were shocked to hear about what happened.
To me, this is just like it's uncharacteristic of his behavior, and something definitely went wrong. It really is just, it's odd. I would never suspect him to do that.
Thursday afternoon, a tip led police to Studio City, where Rice was arrested after reportedly yelling to police, "Kill me." In Santa Barbara, Fabiola Ramirez, KSBY News.